Day one of the second round, Denmark beats Wales 4-0. A new star is born in Dolberg. Maybe Bale's last international appearance with Wales. Italy beats Austria in a hard-fought 2-1 extra time game where Italy has got to figure out how to make their runs not so predictable. Austria's tough as hell. It was a good day. Happy Saturday, homies. Okay, let's get into it. So we had two Euro 2020 games today. Wales versus Denmark, and then Italy versus Austria. Okay, two completely different types of games, and I had expectations for both of them. Didn't necessarily turn out for either one of them like I really thought. I expected Wales versus Denmark. I was thinking a 1-0 win, maybe a 2-1 for Denmark. Wales makes it to this point, but it never quite works out. Let's be clear about that. But Denmark has been playing so inspired. It was Bale started this game incredible. Had some great shots. He was feeling himself great. But in the 27th minute, his very first start, Kasper Dolberg ripped from the outside of the 18-yard box on the left side, cracked that on the right inside of the post. Beautiful goal in the 27th minute. And he continued on in the 48th minute to score again. It was Kasper Dolberg's coming out party. He looked good. He looked confident. He looked solid. And, for a first start, he was incredible. They were running up top. They were actually playing a 3-4-2-1, but they were running up there with Braithwaite, Dolberg, and they were doing some damage. It was a really exciting game. This team actually has much more power than I originally thought. Obviously, their style of play has completely changed with Eriksen out. Not only are they playing with a lot of energy and they're playing for a purpose, but not only that, but they're no longer kind of playing through the middle and waiting for Eriksen to facilitate. They are going straight to the attack, and they're doing it with efficiency. They ended up winning 4-0 with 4 goals, but ultimately Wales just completely fell over. Completely, just as soon as they were down by 2-0, it was almost like the game was already over. It was kind of sad, actually. You had Bale, hand on hips, complaining. Same thing we've seen before. Not that Wales is a bad team, but when they fall apart, it's just a shit show. They just completely fall apart. The game was kind of real slow, uninteresting. As soon as Dolberg left the game, I think at the 57th minute, the game kind of was over. It was already over, and they continued to score. So it was like, Mila scores. It was a wide open cross. He cut inside. Beautiful inside. Poked it to the right post. Boom. That was great. Harry Wilson gets a red card for a kind of a disaster of a call. To be completely honest, this referee was trash. This referee was trash the entire game. He was calling certain things just completely wrong. He wasn't letting people play. He was calling fouls when they weren't fouls. He gave a red card for a pretty questionable tackle that wasn't really significant at all. I was disappointed that this game was so dogged by the referee. It wasn't super exciting. The most exciting part about this is that this is an inspired team. Dolberg's first start in this tournament made him a star, right? 2 goals, 1 game, and he will definitely be starting for the rest of this tournament. They have a lot of energy up top. They no longer kind of just cruise control in the middle. They attack, and they attack fast. The weakest link technically is Braithwaite, although he's always there to poach, but Dolberg, he makes things happen. You also have Dansgaard, who's doing a really good job up there. This team's solid. I think they're going to be the sleeper. They could be a sleeper. Next game, Italy versus Austria. Now, this is a game that I thought was going to be a little different as well. To be clear, I thought Italy was going to win 2-0. Not that Austria wasn't going to put up a good fight. I think Austria has a great defense, but so does Italy. So Italy was coming in, and they hadn't been scored on in 11 games, unbeaten in the last 30 games. So you figure, okay, they haven't been scored on. They might be able to keep a clean sheet. What happened was, very frustrating. Italy has very fun power up top. They got a lot of light-footed, flicky players that like to roast you, burn you, and make it look good while it's happening. That wasn't working today. The whole team wasn't working today. They started out aggressive, but as you see with these teams, Austria hadn't beaten, I don't think they had beaten Italy since the 60s, so it wasn't a high expectation. They were just going out there to, slow them down in the first half, and slow them down they did. Matter of fact, there was some shots. I think, let me take a look at the report on this. So if you take a look at the actual shots, so it was a strong game, to be honest. But what happened was Italy was pounding and pounding. They had 26 shots with 6 on target versus the overall. Remember, this game went to extra time. 16 shots from Austria, 3 on target. But it doesn't matter how many shots you have if you can't put them in. There was some good. Insigne was doing a good job. There were some good shots. Verratti was playing in the middle. There was a lot of activity, but I will tell you, this game got real boring at halftime, okay? As soon as we were halfway in the game, it was almost like Italy continued to make runs up top that were either easily defended or went straight to Austria's keeper. Like, clearly Austria figured out their runs. They figured out how they were going to attack, the angles they're going to do, and they're pretty easy. If you're always throwing long balls up top, it's pretty easy to stop. If you're always running down one side and then you're going to cross it for a guy on the other side, pretty easy to defend. I was thinking Italy was going to come in here and dominate after the first round, but they look possibly like they're a little predictable on that final third, especially until they got their subs in. Now, Italy ended up winning in emphatic fashion. So it did go to overtime. Chiesa came in late in the game. He gets a ball crossover. He heads it with control, taps with his right foot onto his left leg, and blasts it back door. Amazing goal. Can't tell you how great of a goal that was. It was solid. This is an extra time. Then they're up 1-0. Boom. Okay, let's see what happens. Then one of the sweetest goal runs ever. So Pessina gets a goal. It's just loose in the box. Boom. He takes it over to the left side, hits it far post with his left foot shot. He goes and does the dopest goal run. Dives and falls dead halfway through it and just drags his face and his shoulder onto the grass. I thought it was dope. The whole team crowded him, celebrated. That was awesome. But Austria is tough. If we didn't learn anything in this game, Austria is tough. They may make you go through a whole bunch of Italy's bad passes in the first half, but they made it through. Austria gets one of the coolest, dopest goals I've seen. So in the 114th minute, which basically means second extra time, there was a diving header. 3 Italian players are running to the near post. Austria, I think it's Kalajic, diving header goes near post through 3 players. There was barely any angle for him to score, and he made it happen. So while this game was really slow and starting to annoy me in the base of it, the first 90 minutes for the most part, where Italy was just doing too much trickster stuff and falling, and I love Italy, but they do like to drag you into a yellow card. And they were doing their natural thing, sitting down, looking to see if they got the calls. Love Italy. I love their spice, but they have got to be more precise on their final third. Italy wins 2-1. Super excited about the games tomorrow. I hope everyone's doing well. Talk to everyone soon. Join the channel if you like. But most of all, if anything, man, just have fun. Enjoy.